Because they were trying to say there's 5, and I said there's 4, but sometimes 5. E-Man said sometimes 5. But they didn't believe me because they don't believe women.
That's not true.
But I said there's 4, and they are
breaking, graffiti, MCing, DJing.
boom.
Yep.
And if we are to appreciate and celebrate Dapper Dan, it's fashion.
Ooh, fashion.
Ooh,
Even said the
okay.
5th could be beatboxing. The 5th could always be like that special mix of someone that is like hip hop in style.
Yeah.
It's fashion,
Yeah.
Fashion. Okay.
right? So if you think of Dapper Dan and his contributions to taking Gucci logos and making products that didn't exist,
Yep.
taking MCM bags and turning
Full
them into
remix. That's a
jackets.
remix of
Yeah.
fashion.
Right? It's like the same type of, the same element of taking like a James Brown beat, mixing it with other samples, and then rapping and juggling from back and forth.
Sampling.
Then Dapper Dan was sampling products that were once silo, like bags,
Yep.
and turning bags into jackets,
Jackets. Yep.
turning purses into jackets and whole freaking sweatsuits. Because at the time, Gucci wasn't making those types of jackets.
At all.
MCM wasn't making those jackets. You know, Louis Vuitton wasn't making those types of jackets. So Dapper Dan literally invented the style of clothing and attire that has turned
luxury.
these luxury brands into like street culture empires.
Yep.
He was the OG Kanye.
doing that.
He was the OG Pharrell. Dapper Dan is like hip hop pioneer extraordinaire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he did none of the things that are like the 4. He didn't MC. He didn't DJ. He didn't graffiti. He didn't break dance. But he was hip hop. Like you
And
can't
part
say
of the
that he
culture,
wasn't.
He laced all the rappers with their freaking gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
Sheesh.
And if you want to go down like jewelry, trunk jewelry,
Ooh.
because they couldn't move money from country to country or state to state,
Yeah.
so they would just have jewelry and then cash in the jewelry because you couldn't travel with $100,000.
Right.
But I could travel with the $100,000 wearing it,
Yeah.
and then cash it in over there. That's how you move money around.
Woo.
Talk about that as far as
Yeah.
hip hop too. Like folks like,
The
why
hustle.
are the rappers wearing big chains?
Oh.
Chains.
Oh, you thought that was
Dang.
just like collections? No, bro,
Yeah.
that's how you move money.
Yeah. Because anything that's 10,000 and above, it gets checked by the
Yeah.
the government.
Yeah, so that's the difference between real gold and diamonds and like display and color
Right.
when you wear it to exchange it.
Yeah.
And you know, there's some people that have like each angle. Like it's either people that are strictly DJs, some that are dancers. You have all elements. Have you noticed that about Will.i.am? You have.
I'm not a
literally-
good DJ though.
But you do.
Really?
You know, I remember.
I mean, I'm a DJ. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, no. Go ahead.
So you remember? Go.
Cause you had, I believe it. What song was it? Let the beat drop. Where it goes, let the beat drop. Right on that song.
Let the boom,
You
boom, boom,
said
pow.
you mixed it like if you were a DJ.
Yeah.
You did that so that DJs could play it through. They didn't have to mix in another song.
Yeah, exactly. So boom, boom, pow.
Yeah.
We had the switch up already in the record, you know, where it's like here's a repetitive beat, but right here we're gonna go to the switch up. Let the beat drop, like that was like on purpose. So seeing how the DJs were. DJ AM, rest in peace. That's my dude. Went to freaking junior high school with that cat.
Wow.
I was seeing how he was mixing and blending, and I'm like, yo, let me put that mixing and blend into the record on purpose, you know. But that wasn't the first folks that I can't say I invented that. There's like songs like freaking not Fergalicious.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Pick up on this.
Yeah.
Pick up on this.
Adding the mix already.
Yeah.
You don't need to scratch on
Listen
it.
up, y'all, because this is it. The beat that I'm banging is delicious. That's Fergalicious. But I was referencing like, freestyle music that I grew up with like in East LA.
Wow.
But yeah.
So you said you know how to DJ, but
I don't.
You feel like you're not that great at it. I feel like I've seen you spin. You did EDC 2010.
Yeah. So let's like, there's DJs.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's DJs.
Yeah.
And out of respect to my friends that have been practicing freaking blending
Yep.
Yeah.
without a sync button, scratching and freaking timing and mixing.
Like a DJ E.N.D and
Yeah,
all.
shout
Yeah.
out E-Man.
That's a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that, I'm not a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And no, out of respect to all DJ, I don't DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it now.
I playlist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
curate.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm like, yo, I'm a PL, bro.
Hey.
PL, playlister. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a press player.
Uh-huh.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
a PP, bro.
Yeah.
Press play. Oh, shit. I'm a sinker. Sync
Yeah.
mix. From that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, one day I got paid, like, crazy amounts of money
Mm-hmm.
to DJ a party. They paid me, like, 700 grand
Gross.
to play a party.
Wow.
Some crazy stuff like that. So I'm like, and I just started DJing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I can't take this money, but I'm going to take this money. But I'm going to give this money away.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I went on Oprah and I started my foundation sending 4 kids to college and paid their whole entire like room and board
Yeah.
and their tuition.
Wow.
With the money that I got paid to DJ
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't feel right taking money when my homeboys couldn't get a gig for like $10,000. But because of technology,
Right.
now I can DJ.
Mm.
I'm like, no, this ain't right. So let me, because I got homies that really DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to go out there and like look like I'm DJing
Right.
and sound like I'm DJing
And
because
profit off of
technology.
it. Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to start my foundation and I'm going to send kids to college with this money. So I respect DJs.
Yeah.
I love real DJs that are up there really working,
Mm-hmm.
blending, cutting. And then you got like, and I'm not saying like, sync DJs is not, it's
Right.
not difficult. You still, there's still some craftsmanship on when you cut to the next record,
Right.
but it's not like what E-Man and these cats
Yep.
are doing. That's a,
Carrying crates, scratching, making sure
Yeah.
everything's good. Yeah.
yeah, that's a different
it's
skill, and
it's a
and I
yeah.
respect that at the fullest, at the highest level.
And even like the West Coast DJs are so different because we're known for like our transitions and we're known to like there's a different like detail. It's not slamming records, and each is its own. Like the East Coast style is more slam record and the West Coast style is more transition, but it's such attention to detail that they got to
Yeah,
get
the
to.
Scratching.
You know what's
crack
dope?
Scratches, all that.
You remind me of a long time ago. You don't look like her.
Mhm.
You don't act like her. You just vibe like her. And her spirit of the love for hip hop
Mm.
from a different element, the graffiti side. Her name was Tribes. I don't know if you remember this tagger named Tribes when Chaco was big.
Out here, the only like one of the only girl taggers.
Yeah, her name was Tribes.
Wow.
Vibes.
She was like,
I'm vibes.
And she's tribes your
I'm
vibes.
vibes.
that's
Wow.
crazy. So I told you vibe like her. She was dope, bro. She was down though. Like
Yeah.
she was down. Everybody was like, dang, she gets up. Like
The
when
spot
Key
she
and
hits,
Euler
yeah.
and Angst and all these freaking STP crews and freaking CBS and On the Run. And if you really like that life. I
Yup.
remember
Yeah.
I never met Chaka, but I
Mhm.
met him on FaceTime. And I fanned out. I'm like, oh,
Hell
it's
yeah,
Chaka,
that's
bro.
my
Like, yo, let's go
Chaka.
tag him tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw news reports about you, Chaka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real stuff, because he's from the east. He's from the Aliso Village projects,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm from Estrada Courts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we never like,
Cross paths like that.
yeah, no. But he was just like, well, he was a legend,
Right.
and I was like a toy. But
Did you tag Will?
no, I
it
tagged Expo.
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 Yeah, and I had my
Ooh.
big X throw up. Like,
Do you have a
Wow.
favorite spot that you hit? Like especially like maybe downtown somewhere.
no,
maybe...
we used to go like, you know where Sears is on Soto and Olympic,
Yes.
and all those factories back there.
Yeah.
That's where all the toys hit up.
You're dumb. Don't call yourself that.
You know what I mean? All the toys are over there.
Damn.
Like,
Wow.
Don't say that.
know
Our
what
friend
it seems-
Sci-Fi is up there.
no, like, no.
Yeah,
No
it's a joke.
disrespect.
It's a joke.
No,
It's a joke.
Yeah.
no disrespect.
Yeah.
There's some pretty dope taggers there.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
toys
Hold
go
on.
there too.
But the toys go there because the cops didn't freaking like, they weren't heavy thick there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because there were other things that they had to worry about in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it was like a free practice zone for like
Mm.
Mhm.
for toys to really feel like they're doing stuff, to be up next to freaking like Hex stuff or Inks and Sleaze. Ooh, Sleaze. Cab. Ooh, Cab 1 was like, was everywhere. He had Heavens. And I remember like just driving on my school bus, like looking at Heavens, looking at all these taggers, like SDP and UTI, like, wow, these UTI guys, like, look at that fat cap where the eye flares out like that, like, wow, these guys.
The differences in it,
I used to love, I love growing up in LA in the 90s.
Even just driving around on the freeways, being able to see it, you see it different. Other people might come and be like, oh, that's just graffiti, it's just scribble. But you're literally, once you know it, you see, dang, they got up there. Man, I see them here too.
It was the internet.
Yep.
That was TikTok before TikTok.
Wow.
That was like hashtagging before. It was tagging without the hash. Back then, a hashtag was like, I'm tagging on hash.
Legit.
I'm tagging on hashish, bro. Like, whoa.
Do you ever get the urge to like try to hit up again?
I swear to God, we'll go downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how true I am. After this interview, we're going to go downstairs, open the trunk, and you'll see a bunch of freaking cans of fat caps in my trunk.
Shut up.
Because at any given time, I freaking pull up in my Bentley or my Mercedes or my AMG GC63.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, like, if you pull up on the freeway, the cops in a car like that, they don't think you're getting up.
You're just fixing something. You're just fixing something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, woo, like, I'm sorry, officer. Oh, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
They're not thinking you're the one.
Doing this.
I just burned myself.
I know. This is LA radio. Yeah.
I just snitched on
Don't
myself.
worry.
Rewind.
You can pay the fine. Don't worry.
But nowadays, like, cops ain't gonna pull you, take you, arrest you for that. These cops nowadays are like PG correct, bro. Like,
oh yeah.
I was driving down the street. I saw a chick with both chi-chis out. Back then they would have freaking put you in jail for indecent.
Got you in for that, yeah.
Exposure.
Now things are like,
I was like, get it, girl.
Yeah.
Wow. Now they're just like, Chow.
Chow. Remember Chow?
Yeah.
Chow.
That's his. Whenever he's in Vegas, that's his motto.
Yeah.
Chow. Yeah.
Like who? I wonder who the first person that was like Chow. Who was that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like, yo,
there needs to be an oral history on Chow.
Oh my
Remember who was
gosh.
the first person to be like Chow? Like walk into the club. Let's go to DQ's. First of all, you walk into DQ like Chow.
Yeah. But we all know what it means. It's like a good feeling word.
Yeah.
You know.
Chow.
No, you know, I saw you at the East LA Classic last year.
Yo,
Incredible performance. It was the first time I saw the drones while you guys were performing. But I know it's important to you to still continue to represent, be in East LA and Boyle Heights and be a part of that community. I know those kids are gonna love it forever, and it just is really beautiful to me how tapped in you continue to be with the city that raised you.
That was like the most emotional moment for me. Like playing the Super Bowl was dope. Like wow, we played the Super Bowl, we played the World Cup, played Grammys, but I've never been that emotional at a show.
Wow.
Up at the East LA Classic to me was probably more important to me than all the other things, because that's like all East LA neighborhoods. Lincoln people even from Lincoln are go there.
Yep.
And they don't ever play in the East LA Classic. You know, you got folks that.
But you got them there, yeah.
You know, Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, East LA, you know, like City Terrace, El Sereno, like that whole area, Montebello, Montebello High School, and then like the bougie one, Sure High School, and then like. But the chicks from Sure were like a little bit more wilder than the freaking Montebello High School. And then you had like the Bosco Tech, like bougie folks.
Yeah.
And that whole area, like that's us. Even though Cudahy is like a different breed of East LA, like Bell Gardens and Cudahy, and it's a different.
Huntington Park, all that.
Huntington Park, HP. That's where you go get your freaking shoes for back to school.
And quinceañera dresses.
And quinceañera dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either Whittier, or our side, or like HP. But then like it got really thick in the '90s, so you didn't go to HP to get stuff. being in East LA Classic was like, wow, this is my whole childhood.
That's all right here.
People that like, hey Willie, you remember me? I'm freaking Cynthia's son, or I'm like freaking
Cynthia's Latina, I could tell by the way
yeah,
that you.
yeah.
I'm freaking Lupita's
Yeah.
freaking nephew, or that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were in like the welfare lines together. We were in
Yeah.
there like my whole life. We used to go right there. There used to be a store called La Quebradita
Mm-hmm.
on Whittier and Lorena, and before, right down the street, there was a store called Johnson's, where we used to go get our soup. But La Quebradita had the cans are all broken, or the boxes that were open and tore up.
Yeah.
This was like in the 80s, 90s. But it was my whole life. Like before making money and traveling and like trying to get record deals or win Grammys or be #1.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play the East LA Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so I traveled the world, and I'm like, I saw drones. I'm like, oh, wow, those drones are dope.
So fly.
Imagine I bring those back to Boyle Heights. That would be crazy to bring that back to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so I've traveled the world, and I'll see robotics programs like, oh, I'm going to bring a robotics program to Boyle Heights. I see new technology, computer science, like, ooh, I'm going to bring computer science to Boyle Heights. And so every time I see new stuff, my mind is, how can I bring that back to Boyle Heights?
Let's take it back. Yep.
So I started with 65 kids in 2008. Now in 2023, we serve 13,000 students in LA with
Wow.
robotics, computer science. We send kids to Dartmouth, to Brown, to Stanford.
That's amazing.
I got students from Boyle Heights, East LA that are going to USC, UCLA, Georgetown. The I Am Angel scholarships, like full ride. But I started, like I said, DJing.
Yeah.
And there's this dude in the projects. His name was DJ Gill, and he had this dope like turntable set up because he used to play quinceañeras.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that mixer that had like this little sample circle button? Like, forgot what mixer that was back in the freaking 90s. It had a little like a 2-second sample.
Mm-hmm.
And I recorded my demo on his equipment. DJ Gill, if you're listening, thank you so much for helping me get my career started and believing in me and making time for me to go and use your equipment while you were practicing for quinceañera all the time right there on Casa de Mexicali on Euclid. He used to play those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that to me was like, that was more I made it than playing the Grammys. Because who did you make it for when you play in the Grammys?
Yeah.
When you play the Super Bowl, who
doing it for? Yeah.
that's your people,
Yep.
but they didn't see you. So I went back to the people that know me,
Yeah.
that see me grew up. Lala, freaking Miss Bustos, Cynthia, Cora, the Salazar family, Noé and Nene Colunga, Calvin and Douglas, Nazario, Mondo, Gege, Casper, Smokey, throwing all the homies. Who else would put shout out?
Miklo.
That's fire. That must have been amazing though, because like you said, it's like
I love it.
it's all these people that loved you before you were
Yeah.
somebody, right?
They
like
saw
to
you.
to the
Yeah,
general
yeah.
public. It's like they just grew up loving, like you said, Willie,
Yeah.
and like to
Yeah.
perform for them, it must have like struck a chord.
Yeah, like it was firme, dog. I don't know other word to say, but firme.
Yeah.
And I saw some fine I know has there too.
I know, huh?
There was some pretty fine I know has, dog.
Growing up in Boyle Heights, though, too, and like to me, I know it as a mostly Latino neighborhood, you know, and even like the projects around that area. But being black in Boyle Heights, talk to me about that. I'm sure you even got like the way you're talking. I feel like you're a primo. Like I feel like you're a cousin, and you got it. And not only do you give back to your own community, you winning helps us too. You know?
So it didn't even feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people, yes, there's certain neighborhoods where it was probably really, really hard for black folks to be raised around brown folk in the 80s and the 90s. Late 90s was thick. But for my neighborhood, It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
They probably thought we were like Dominican or Panamanian or something, because my whole family spoke Spanish. I have nieces and nephews and cousins that were in ESL at Roosevelt.
Vibes.
They didn't really, you know what I mean? They had
Yeah.
English as a second language.
Wow.
And the neighborhood, it wasn't like that. Nah, it was.
It
I
wasn't
never
like,
felt like
yeah.
we didn't fit in,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or they don't want you
or
here.
they make me feel less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was never like that. It was like, what's up, Willie?
Yeah.
Like, fucking Willie, Don.
Yeah. You're
Hey, fucking kick that rap, fool.
hey, let's go bust a tag, fool.
Or like, let's go get up, fool. hey, who's on Trucha?
Yeah.
Hey, I was on Trucha last time, fool. Hey, you.
This is real life, by the way. This
Yeah,
really
you know what I'm saying?
happened.
He's having flashbacks.
Yeah, real stuff. Hey, you know what the dopest song is right now? I mean,
What?
not right now, but a couple of months ago, a year ago.
Uh-huh.
Which one?
That, and then that fool was like, you seen that?
Oh yeah, the dude. Yeah, and I
No,
pull
is
up
he
to the block,
Yeah.
and I pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
No, I see it too. Like we have like this super page that a lot of like especially LA Latinos love is Fools Gone Wild, and it's like I see how like there's people like you, Lupe Fiasco, that understand
Yeah.
like where it comes from, because it is ingratiation of like black and brown. He comes from Chicago, Lupe, but he had a lot of Latinos around him. He even took on the name Lupe from somebody named Lupe. It's not his real name, but it's really cool to understand like, now we're here, we're together, we can clown it because it's real.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even clowning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
It's, and I know what it looks like. I could see how people that probably don't know that I'm
Right.
from East LA, from Boyle Heights, because if you don't specify Boyle Heights and you say you're from East LA, they'll be like,
That
"You're
part.
from Boyle Heights, fool,
Yeah.
not even East LA, what?" Like,
Yep.
we're from Boyle Heights.
Yep.
And that's all I know. And not like I was there, hell, how long you were there? When I, 7th grade, I moved to freaking Long Beach. But I was there now
Right.
that reggaeton or Latin is
Yep.
hot. Like, I was there till I was 25.
Yep.
25. Like, zero. Like, I was born at
Yeah.
freaking General Hospital. We don't even call it USC. Because General Hospital is
Yup.
like, the one on TV, fool.
Yeah.
I was born on that one.
one.
And then my sister was at White Memorial. And my mom went to Stevenson. My mom went to Lorena Elementary School.
Man.
Like, when your mom
Mm-hmm.
was in the projects, maybe like 5 years after they started.
It's a part of that.
It's,
There's no removing you. There's no like it was just so happened to be I passed by. It's like, no, stamp.
Yeah, well,
there.
I go there like, I try to go there as much as possible. My school's there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a
Ooh.
robotics school there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then on First Street, across street from the Hollenbach station, my other school's right there, my college prep school. My aunt works at Dispatch at Hollenbach. My family members still work in the community. Like, we're
Yeah.
still there. My aunt works at the freaking homeless shelter right next to, on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
And all the time I go to, like, Soho House, I'm like, there's a part of me that's like,
Mm-hmm.
because that hurts, because it's going to hurt Boyle Heights,
Mm.
because the price of living is going up in
Up.
Boyle Heights.
Yeah.
And although I like what's happening in the Arts District,
Right.
there's a part of me that's like, not even, food, that's not right.
It's
like
that Soho House you're talking about that is like a warehouse.
Soho
kinda.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Warner's, the new record company's right there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right
that's
there,
dope.
Right off
Yeah.
the bridge. Yep.
But
That's-
how dope is it for the surrounding areas?
Yeah.
I feel you.
There's a,
What do you think about the bridge,
the bridge,
the 6th Street Bridge?
that shit is really dope.
It's dope, bro. It's dope.
It's like,
Have you been on it at night with the lights?
yeah,
Bomb.
it's really, really bomb.
Yeah.
It's really dope. And there's a part of me that's like, that bridge means two things. It means they tore down the old bridge, and the old bridge was, is pretty iconic.
Yep.
But that bridge means there's a bridge that's coming that's going to change the conditions of living for the good. But it's just a matter of time where Boyle Heights is going to change. And the people that have been there forever are probably not going to be able to afford it. And that's the part that hurts the most. As much as I love that bridge, I also see the other side.
The future of it.
And that's the reason why the school that I have there is trying to like urgently teach the community that we should be the ones changing our neighborhood ourselves. And Boyle Heights, out of all the neighborhoods around LA, is the most unique because small businesses, there's always small businesses everywhere across LA. But Boyle Heights is like, used to go to Manuel Special El Tepeyac. And that guy, that's an iconic restaurant. That was a small business. And everybody in East LA and Boyle Heights knows El Tepeyac. And you would go there to get a Manuel Special, and we all know, like, if you eat the big one, you can have it for free. And that type of, like, marketing for the community, and after every East LA Classic, everybody would go. That thing was jam-packed. We all know, like, the Raspada place that used to be right there on 4th Street. And now they tore it down. And now there's a new, it's always been there, but now across the street from Evergreen, there's that one little raspada place right there. That's where I go get my raspadas with the chamoy and the freaking tamarindo. That's still every Saturday.
You're the tamarindo guy.
The tamarindo.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, which one's your order? Because
the
there's
tamarindo
different.
with chamoy.
I like that. I'm a tamarindo too. Wasn't
Until
yours
they have
the
vegan
vanilla one?
Nuez.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Until they have
almond.
vegan. It used to be the vanilla one.
Yeah.
But I'm vegan now, so they don't have the vegan one. But that we all know, like, the beauty of Boyle Heights. And there's people that, like, never wanted to leave. Like, in East LA and Boyle Heights, I remember my friends used to be like, hey, we're moving. Where are you moving? We're moving to freaking Fontana. Like, oh, wow, you came up. Or, like, I'm moving to Whittier. Dang, fool, you moving to Whittier?
Yeah.
Or right after 605, like, dang, you came up. But not many people wanted to leave Boyle Heights.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like this place that's like,
There's no place like it.
no place out of all the places, and everybody probably really proud of their hood like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But really, 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 low key, Boyle Heights is a very, very special little, and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, which is now Cesar Chavez,
Mm-hmm.
and all the little shops there, Whittier Boulevard. There's like
area.
all small
Yeah.
businesses
There's a lot of
on
culture there.
on Whittier Boulevard. The cruising, you cruise Whittier Boulevard
Yep.
back in the days. You didn't cruise freaking, what other places? People came to cruise Whittier,
To Whittier. Yeah. Still. Sundays.
right?
Come on.
And it's the love that was there. You go from like Belvedere Park and that freaking King Taco. Those are small businesses.
Yeah.
And they always had like the entrepreneurial spirit, and that's why I have my love for Boyle Heights is like, you know, Matavilla, Dogtown projects, Strata Courts, which used to be Aliso Village and and Pico Village, which is now the Boozy projects.
Yeah.
Then you had like Hazard projects who had paintings like Strata Courts projects, all the different projects.
Yep.
They're all like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Boyle Heights, bro. Like,
Hold
I
on.
don't think you understand my
I gotta
love
count
for
our
it.
Boyle Heights native. You're from Aliso, no? You're from the
I'm from the
bougie.
old Aliso.
No, you're from the bougie
Oh, so
projects.
you know, wait, so you know my my cousin Earl.
Arrow.
Earl, like he's like the other only black guy there.
You're not.
yeah. All
Maybe.
yeah.
Bougie. I
No,
took,
it's bougie now
Yeah.
compared to what it used to be. Yeah.
I did. I took a tour of Boyle Heights. Who what's his name? Joe. He's from the tech center, and he gave me a really dope tour of the different projects. So I'm from the Valley. I'm an 818 girl, right? And even being from the Valley, I understand. Like, I feel like the fighters come from Boyle Heights, the ones that are gonna be activists a lot. Like, I know, like, there's centered in East LA and in Boyle Heights, and really like for our community, I know that they're the ones that are gonna be frontline, right? But when I was on the tour, he showed me one of the projects that you mentioned that has the murals everywhere.
That's either Strata Courts or it's Hazard.
and it was beautiful. And it's like, unless you're there, you don't see it like that. We have like sparse like murals here and there, or maybe we see the ones that are like either on Melrose or like Fairfax that are more for like people to be touristy, but that is for our own and that community itself to see themselves, you know.
But Hazard has some pretty cool murals too. But the house that I grew up in on Lorena Street, right there, there's a there's a mural. There's a guy like this with a fist, a Chicano guy though, and on the wall that my mom grew up in, that I was born in, it's Orale Raza. That house, that first house on that wall, is the house that my mom and everybody was raised in.
Wow.
Orale Raza.
That's so dope.
We need a plaque on that.
From the 50s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they moved in the 60s. Sorry, from the 50s into the 50s, 60s, 70s. My mom moved over on the 8th Street side. But my whole life. So you're talking about in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yep.
My mom was there for like, many years.
Yeah.
Many years.
That's beautiful. Because that doesn't happen a lot. I come from a house that kept moving and moving and moving. So that's beautiful to have that, like those deep roots.
Yeah.
You know, Will. And even just talking LA with you is vibes. There's songs, there's music.
Yeah.
Formula One is out now. You and Lil Wayne killed it.
Like, so
but like
One
talking LA is our, like, that's why we even got here to Power.
Yeah.
Like, we started off as a podcast, LA based and biased. All we do is talk about LA stuff. Power saw, because we're like selling out Novo and really having like this locked in audience.
Core fan base, yep.
And it's just what we love doing, being able to talk about LA from people that have made it, and so other people can understand and see themselves. Like, this is us. Those you're talking about eating raspados, dog. You know how many people are eating raspado right now listening to us?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, me too.
Yeah.
You know?
As
it's
you were
beautiful.
saying all that, I was like, dude, our fans are gonna love
Oh my God, they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You know, like they're gonna love this.
And the people that know. Like,
Yeah.
you don't gotta ask about Will. They already know he's gonna be at the East LA Classic. They already know he's from the turf. All of that.
Where do people get married from East LA and Boyle Heights?
Is that a joke?
No.
Oh.
Where are most of the weddings?
It sounds like a joke.
Dolores Mission?
Huh?
Dolores Mission? Resurrection?
No, Resurrection, yeah, but you know the bougie one. It's like oh shucks.
Is it the? I don't know. I'm thinking Elvira Street.
No, off the 60 freeway. By the golf course.
Oh,
I thought the answer was they don't get married. Kidding.
No, they do. I was just there the other last 2 weeks ago. 2 weekends ago. It's called hold on. My friend was like,
that's where you got married?
oh, I know what you're talking about. It's
Quiet Canyons.
Quiet Canyon.
Quiet Canyons.
It's closer to Montebello, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montebello is like, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so we got the song right now called "The Formula" with Lil Wayne.
Yep.
It's one of the first installments from for a year-long project that I'm doing with F1.
Wow.
Amazing.
We got a new song that's gonna come out in July, and it's my first solo project in 10 years.
Wow.
So
Was Songs About Girls the last one?
no, Willpower. The one that I had with Britney, Scream and Shout. The one I had with Justin Bieber. That
Ooh,
Power.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And then a song I had with Eva Simmons called "This Is Love."
Yeah.
Song I had Miley Cyrus called "Feeling Myself."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had some pretty feedback joints on that one.
That's so hilarious.
And then and this new one is like, it's fucking dope.
Yeah. Arre. Say arre.
No, mama, it's
Yeah.
fucking dope, bro.
We were running Songs About Girls earlier. It's one of my favorite projects,
Oh,
and I
thank you,
love that
thank
it's
you.
your solo project. I
Yeah.
love the She's a Star record. Like, we
Yeah.
were running through it, and it was so cool that you even took that time off, because that was heavy Black Eyed Peas vibe, Prime, right? And you're like, I'm gonna take this time to, what do I want to say? I want to make music for girls. Like, literally, the whole song, the whole album is different. Like, I guess feelings that you have and vibes that you have towards women.
Was that?
That whole album was written for my ex-girlfriend
Oh.
at the time. I moved from the projects to her house, and she lived in we lived in Silver Lake,
Mm.
and we were every group has that, like, the girl that helped the group become the group,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and she was that for us.
Ooh, that's vibes.
And yeah, and then we, like stupid youth, we do stupid things, and then she didn't want to talk to me no more, so I wrote that record
Mm-hmm.
it's like closure to a 10-year relationship. But yeah, that was and we lived together. So Roosevelt
Yeah.
on Thicket on 4th, there's a laundromat, and behind that laundromat there's a house, and we lived in the garage. And then I was coming back from the Grammys. Black Eyed Peas won a Grammy in 2003, and I lived in that garage. And she was like, well, what are we doing? You just won a Grammy, and we're in this garage. I'm like, yeah, but, this is where we live.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but this don't add up. We right by the smell like laundromat every day. That
It's a good smell.
the Ariel soap.
Yeah.
You know the Ariel soap?
Yeah.
Smell
I thought
it?
like Downy or
Yeah.
like the.
No, not Downy.
Yeah.
The Ariel soap.
Yeah.
Downy's like the Huerito soap.
Yeah.
the freaking
Yeah.
Ariel soap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we came from the Grammys with a Grammy in our hand, and I was living right there. And 2004, sorry, 2004. And that was like, and then from 2007, I wrote that because that's when the relationship started falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote that album, like top to down, like She's a Star, Ain't It Pretty? No, Ain't It Pretty's for a different girl.
Oh gosh.
Was that different girl on I Know Her?
And
No,
I know
she
how
wasn't
girl.
an I Know Her.
Oh my gosh. Was she a güerita?
No, she wasn't a Juanita.
Mm.
But yeah. But the majority of the record
Yeah, it's for her.
was for that closure.
That body of
It was
work.
like closure,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
was showing them Impatient, and I'm like, have you guys? Yeah, like Impatient. I love the beat, and I heard Impatient before I heard American Boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that it just was weird to me that and this is before, like, I don't know, you get hip to what kind of goes on behind the scenes or production or, like, maybe someone passing off a beat to two artists. But is that kind of what happened there?
No, so what happened was I didn't want to do a solo project.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
So Black Eyed Peas were super big. And we
Yeah.
Where's the Love was big, Pump It,
Yeah.
My Humps.
Yeah.
So in 2006, Jimmy's like, you need to make a solo record. I'm like,
He
don't
sounds
want-
just like that,
Yeah.
too.
I don't want to do a solo record. Black Eyed Peas is what I do. I know, but Fergie's record was big. I'm like, yeah, that's because we put her in the group so we
Yep.
could launch a solo project. And so I did Fergalicious,
Yeah.
Big Girls Don't Cry, all these big records that she
Yeah.
did. Clumsy. He was like, you're writing all these songs for Black Eyed Peas and Fergie. You need to do your record. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't. It's just going to be Black Eyed Peas without the peas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We'll just do a record. I'm like, okay, I'll do a record if you pay me already guaranteed 1/4 of what the Black Eyed Peas made.
Come on.
Yeah.
He was like, you got it. So I got this crazy big advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna make a record about my ex. So I did that. And at the time, we were just fresh out of going to counseling, and I was impatient about the resolve of the relationship.
Yeah, the relationship.
I was just antsy, like what's gonna happen with
Yeah.
us? Like, angst all the time. And there was a song that was big in the UK, and it was like, I can't wait for the weekend to begin. And everywhere I went, dance music was like barely, really taking off.
Yeah.
In 2006, 2007, so I did this dance record called as an instrumental, because instrumentals were popping off in Europe, where they just had a small little chorus and then beat.
Everything's a
So I was
beat,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna just do this I'm gonna do this beat. It's kind of like dancey with a little soulful to it. And songs about girls did not do well.
I love
And that was like a blow to my, like, damn, I got it from my mama. That song was
Yeah.
like, damn it, dig it, damn it, right? Because that was cha-cha music.
That was a single, right?
So before I sampled like a cha-cha
Yeah.
song, like
Yeah.
a, you know, like a Don Quixote, something, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, chicka, dun, 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 and it had that break. Dun, 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 chicka, dun, 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 dun. No, 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 senor. Dun, dun, chicka. So I sampled that because that's what they played at the quinceañeras all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I got it for my mama, and I thought that was gonna blow up. It didn't work, and I'm like, dang, my solo record didn't work, and that was a blow.
Right.
And Fergie's record, same songs I produced and wrote those songs. Like, wow, Fergie's record didn't work. My solo didn't work. Okay. So now they think the Black Eyed Peas is, maybe the Black Eyed Peas is not going to work for the record company, and they're just going to focus on me producing and writing songs for Fergie.
Oh, there. Ooh.
So I'm like, started panicking, getting in my head. So I'm like, all right, App and Tab, let's make a record. We're going to call it The End. Because it could be the end of everything for us. My record didn't work. Fergie's record worked. I think dance music's going to take off. So let's make an all dance album. Because I saw that American Boy, after I did the beat,
Mm-hmm.
so my beat was the instrumental. I did that first. So John
Yeah.
Legend's like, hey, we want to use that beat for this song that I'm doing for Estelle and Kanye.
Mm.
So then Kanye hops on my beat. And then people thought he produced it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I heard it on your album first, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this is Will's song.
So, but it's all good.
yeah.
That happens a lot.
I'm a
too.
fan, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
no.
So, and the instrumental is the same sequence
Same.
as the song that they're rapping over
Mm-hmm.
and singing over. But it's cool because I love American Boy. And
Yeah.
Estelle's great. And me and John
Mm-hmm.
are like, I like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, Ordinary People was for Black Eyed Peas. I wrote that for us.
Oh,
What?
Wow.
And then, it didn't sound right when we did it. So, John Legend took it and made it what it is.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, American Boy blew up. I knew this dance stuff was going to take off. Let's do The End. So The End also has this like little piece on a song called I'm Gonna Be Rocking That Body where we say like, yo, I'm like, I start off the video and I'm like, look, you see this box right here, this artificial intelligence in the future is going to sing the song, make the song. This is going to do everything right here.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Watch the
We
video.
gotta go watch it back
And
right
if you
now.
see the album cover of The End,
right.
it's AI as a green little AI monito.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the End album is about technology and the
Yeah.
advancements of technology
Taking over.
and
yeah,
the little green monito right there
Artists,
on it. And so I'm like, yo, this could be it for us, App and Tab. Let's just do an all dance record. And on this record, I'm gonna sing all the hooks. Because we gotta,
Yeah.
see what's happening. So I'm like, okay, I'll sing the choruses. So Boom Boom Pow, I sing the chorus. Rocking That Body, I sing the chorus. I Got a Feeling, I sing the chorus. Because I gotta
Yeah.
we gotta win.
Right.
Yeah.
And I went out and studied dance. Went out and studied like all the things that are happening out in the world, like this new undercurrent where the DJ was making more money than the Pussycat Dolls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A DJ would put out songs for free and just for DJs to download on Beatport and go out and make all this money around the world. Meanwhile, superstars at record companies weren't making money
Okay,
like
yeah.
these random DJs. So I'm like, yo, the underground is bigger than the surface. Let's make freaking like records for DJs to play so that at least 2 seconds of the song they can play in the song. Let the beat rock. Because I
Yeah.
knew that the DJs, like, you remember those
They love
records
the
you
little
would
party
get?
breaks.
Would
yeah.
be like, do,
The
like, you know what I mean?
It's all about the little transition
Yeah.
points
This
and all
stuff
that.
is really fresh. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, who said that? And now it's
Right.
like,
The drops and all of that.
It's like, just feel it. Just feel it.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All those fucking things. Don't. Like, all that. Like, Hashim and
Yeah.
all that freaking, like,
Yeah.
freestyle music. Electro just sounded like a new version of freestyle.
Freestyle.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, Boom Boom Pow is just really a different type of Egyptian lover type song.
Yeah.
Right? And my beat goes boom, 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 boom. Uh-oh. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta it that right. It's like
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
it's 808s.
Yeah.
It's like what East LA taught me and told me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, the only one that's a little bit European-esque is I Got a Feeling. But I Got a Feeling really is like our version of, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Celebrate good
Yeah.
times. Come on.
That was my graduation song. When I
Got a
graduated in
Feeling?
2010,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as we graduated, and then the Lakers won that day,
Yeah.
the championship.
Come
At the same
on.
exact time we graduated, the Lakers won the championship. And then I Got a Feeling came on, and it was like the highlight of my life. It was like, oh my God, there's like confetti in the air. And I felt like I won a championship.
Yeah. So even like, you know, just study like how people write songs. Like Earth, Wind, and Fire, that do you remember?
Yeah.
September. That kind of placement. I got a feeling. That tonight's gonna. It's the same type of like what they, the type of like energy
Yeah.
and joy that they
Yeah.
would put on records.
Yeah.
And you only do that by like being a student and being like, what?
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing that? Like what? Oh, okay, I got the recipe. I know how this. I got the formula for that. Just tied it back to the formula. Sorry.
Wow.
With me and Lil Wayne.
Incredible. And it's available now. Watch the music video. It's great.
That's incredible.
And one of the biggest moments that people probably don't know. I went to Mexico. Rest in peace. I was at like this wrestling match, this Nacho Libre type of wrestling match, and I'm there sitting right next to Joan Sebastian.
What?
And so I'm like, yo, Joan, I gotta call my next door neighbor, dad, Noel Colunga's dad.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, yo, Noel, put your dad on the phone. He was like, fucking Willie Don. I'm like, yo, put him on. Hey, what's up, Mr. Colunga? I have somebody to talk to you. And so I put
Sebastian.
Mr. Colunga, Noel's dad, Fabian Sr., on the phone with Joan Sebastian. Because in the projects, Noel's dad was the dude that every 4th of July would come out, pass. And he would start singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Joan Sebastian was his favorite
Favorite
artist.
Wow.
And so that moment was like, dang, I did that for Mr. Colunga, like, because I grew, you know what I mean? I grew up with those guys.
Yep.
Yep.
So those little moments are like really, really the moments
Mm-hmm.
of like the things that mean the most to me. Putting Noel's dad on the phone with Joan Sebastian, rocking out with Joan Sebastian on a song, and you know the East LA classic, that kind of stuff is like it's all about.
That's so far.
It all comes back home.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, what's the name of the podcast? I feel like you have so
podcast?
many stories.
need a
Like you need
podcast.
one.
Oh, we have a P podcast.
A P podcast?
No, just kidding. Black Eyed Pea pod. We
Yeah.
no, that'll
would be
be
dope.
wow. That'll be dope.
That would be
huh?
so
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Because you
I
all have
know,
such a great
huh?
story. I
Yeah.
hate you. I know, huh?
Wait, yeah, but wait. Do you?
Do I know, huh?
What?
No.
Yes,
Do
I
you? Do you know any like?
No,
Inohas?
we are I know, huh?
Yeah.
No, I know, but like, do you know
Huh.
any like single I know?
Other one?
I know.
I love it. We got you. No, Will.i.am. It's beautiful to talk
Yeah, this
to you.
is so
Literally, I wish you could just be here every day because the energy that you give to us, it's all about just like, it's the energy you bring into the room. You are still, I could tell that mind is still working. The creativity is still there. It's not going to stop. It's crazy. We talk about the E.N.D album, and that was only another beginning. Like, that was not,
Yeah.
it was
Oh
in-
no,
over
check
at
it
all
out.
after
But then
that.
after the end, we did the beginning. And the beginning, the album cover are like NFTs before there were NFTs.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Those little freaking we
Come
did
on.
like 8-bit minutos.
Yeah,
Monitos, like
Yeah.
you could see it.
Yeah.
But that was 2011.
come on.
If you look at that, but I can't say that we started that. Pharrell was a big influence on the little monitos that he did of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Wow.
And so he low key had NFTs way before people had
We didn't
NFTs.
even know what they
Oh,
were
with the little
or
ice
what
cream
to call it.
skaters.
Yeah.
Right. That
So
little ice
that,
cream
yeah.
skaters.
So
I remember
salute
that.
to Pharrell
Yeah.
and good luck on the LV stuff. That dude, I'm so proud of that
Yeah.
cat.
Right.
Facts.
He's gonna change
Salute to
that
you, bro. This was
company, too.
incredible. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, and it shameless plug.
Go ahead.
I have a new company called FYI.ai, which is like a messenger for, you know, for creative enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're gonna go big, go big. So I'm like, yo, what what am I gonna do? Because I was a part of Beats,
Right.
and when we sold Beats to Apple, and so that whole journey inspired me
Yep.
to be as entrepreneurial in connection with my philanthropic stuff. So I have this new messenger. It's like WhatsApp meets Dropbox meets WeTransfer with generative AI at the core. So it's like, imagine ChatGPT meets ChatGPT meets WhatsApp meets Dropbox meets WeTransfer,
Wow.
all in one app. And we just launched. It's on the App Store, FYI.me. But the company is called FYI.ai. And it's dope because Black and brown folks need to participate in this new wave.
Yep.
Yes.
Just talking about AI or using AI is cool, but starting companies around AI,
Yeah.
starting companies to empower our communities. There's this awesome girl that used to be a part of my foundation as a student. She then went to school for computer science. She now works at FYI.ai
Wow.
from Boyle Heights.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's what I mean by, like, you know, being a part of this new realm, architecting what tomorrow and our possibilities are, solving our problems ourselves with the new tools, and Black and brown, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really proud of your brown bag.
Oh yeah.
That's
Thank
really,
you.
really dope, guys.
Appreciate that.
Dude, well, you know it's crazy. Like, I bet you've always thought this way. You know, we talk about the stuff that you foresaw. Maybe we're not even knowing, like, I'm gonna foresee this for the future. But I'm sure that now you're seeing more people catch on to what you're saying. Whereas before, people might be like, nah, well, what are you talking about? Now it's like, nah, look, here are examples of what I'm saying. And even the language you're speaking, we understand it. It's not beyond us, you know? Whereas before it would be like, nah, this is not my type of talk. AI, what are you talking about, you know? Now we're all kind of on the same page with
Yeah,
it.
yo, what
It's
is he
almost like
saying?
you were ahead of your time, but
Yeah.
now it's like everybody's catching on
Catching
to
up.
understand you better.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there were moments where you felt misunderstood in your advancement with either just your creativity or just the tech side of things, you know? But now it's like, all right, I was waiting for y'all. It might be like that.
Yeah, that's what I told. So people always say, like, why do you have so much success in the school, the program you have? How did you get the kids motivated to join the program? And I'm like, hey, there's a bunch of paths you could take. The neighborhood has a couple of paths that are obvious. One is like entertainment, sports, and knucklehead. And you could make a lot of money doing knucklehead stuff. If you're 5'2", trying to be like Kobe, maybe you ain't gonna be good at that.
Damn.
If you're rapping, you could do that. You just gotta really focus.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the nightlife. And there's paths for you. In the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, people were selling products that were illegal that are now legal, which makes you question, like, what this whole setup was about in the first place.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in the 80s and the 90s and 2000s, there was the richest man in the world, and he's Mexican. And he was Mexican from technology.
Yeah.
And I would always tell my kids, Carlos Slim, try to be like that guy. That dude. Because if you learn this skill set, he'll collaborate with you.
Right.
And you don't have to risk your life.
Yeah.
And you're still selling products.
Right.
This other product that we're selling that was illegal, that's now legal, that stuff is like, those are setups that society puts on us to trap us. But people like Carlos Slim, that's the path for us.
Yeah.
For Black and brown. That's the path. And I would say that everywhere I went. And so one time I was in Mexico and I met the Slim family.
Wow.
And then they're like, thank you so much for the good things you say about my father.
That's dope.
I'm like, you guys heard that?
Damn.
That's
To
fire.
talk about, like, yo, I'm telling you, bro, it echoed back to the
Yeah,
Slim
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
A little black kid from East LA, Boyle Heights, made it out singing, went back to the neighborhood with tech, and the way that I got my kids motivated was pointing out the bright shining star as far as success, the highest level of success, being the richest man in the world, in a path called tech. Here's some skill sets to get you there. And that kind of celebration and pointing to the richest man in the world echoed back to the richest man in the world's family at the time.
Yeah.
So to see, to have come full circle like that is like, you know, it's a beautiful thing to show what Black and Brown can do at this new age of AI and how we're going to use it and come up skis to solve our own problems. Right now, this is the new come up skis.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s, Mexicans and blacks changed the world with a product that is now legal. And they did it when it was illegal.
Yeah.
Now there's this new thing. Imagine what we're going to do together, Black and Brown, when we really take tech and Slim being like the path.
The guy, yeah.
Do you understand what we're going to do together as a people?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so freaking awesome. Black and Brown is like, what? We're the same.
Yeah.
You drive up the 101 freeway, you see the folks that are responsible for all the food in the supermarkets. That used to be black people.
Yeah.
We're a lot alike.
Mm-hmm.
In more ways than we're different. That's why I love my neighborhood so much.
Yeah.
To go back to it, like I'm Blaxican, straight up Blolo, which is Black Cholo. Seriously, bro. Like, look.
Yeah.
I always wear crap pants.
Yeah.
Black socks.
How high are your
Wait,
socks?
how high are your socks? We're gonna do a sock check. Let's see.
What?
Sock check. Hold on, fool.
Oh, man, they're pretty high.
Oh,
He's not playing
I
games.
love you. Bolo.
You think I'm on the level, fool? Not even.
Will.i.am, not a
Yeah.
level. You heard it here.
You heard it here first on Brown Bag.
No, Will, thank you so much. It's great. You're incredible. We love having you, and please come again.
Oh,
Please.
hell yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to come back in October. So it was easy to do the East LA Classic because I'm on the Roosevelt side. This year, it's Garfield's the home
Garfield
team.
won. Yeah.
Garfield won, but everybody won that last year's East LA Classic. Like, it was the first time you saw, like, Roosevelt, like,
Everyone
yeah,
happy,
we
yeah.
lost.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah.
It was beautiful. We lost. But this year, Garfield is the home
It's
team.
on their home court. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, how we do the halftime show?
Yeah.
Where that? I'm at Roosevelt.
Damn. They adopted me though. I'm their tia at Garfield High, so we'll talk about it.
So they're cool with
Yeah.
right now we're figuring out how we do the a similar type of performance. This time it's gonna be at East LA College. So yeah, we're gonna come back. I love to come back.
Yeah.
It's
Of
gonna
course.
it's gonna be dope.
Anytime.
Let's go.
Hell
Go
yeah.
Bulldogs.
Go East LA, go Boyle Heights.
Let's go. Let's go. Power 106, Brown Bag, Will.i.am. Come on.